Hello, my fellow Geeklings, and welcome back. Sorry, my voice is a little raspy today. I got asked a very important question on how to elaborate more on the door system and if you have more than one door with multiple keys and stuff and how it actually plays out. I'm going to demonstrate that to you, but I'm also going to elaborate more on the blueprint side of things and just to make it even better. So right now we have the key, it's this part right here that you can set the reference to for the door so that way it can actually get access to the door's animations. And then it has like where you can require more keys for it so that way you can actually lock it or not. And my keys over here are what's used for this door, where you can set its ID to be whatever you want it to be. Okay, so in our blueprint, we have it to where there's a couple variables that are visible to be able to show inside of our outliner or our details panel. So these four things are right here. And we're kind of setting that at the very beginning. So to make this better, I'm also going to show you that right now, that's our icon, our widget, and it says locked. And if you see at the very top left of the screen, it'll say what keys it needs or requires, and that the fact that the status of this door is locked. And if you pick up these keys, it'll say what key number it is. And you'll come over here and the door will open. Right now, there is a bug to where if you were to spam this, you see how it's just automatically starting the animation over and over and over again? That's because we need to add a Boolean check for if this animation or if this door is in the process of being opened or not. So let's just add that really quick. So I'm going to add a variable just in process with the question mark, because I'm always asking myself, is it in process or not? Yes or no. It makes it so much easier when you're doing Boolean checks. We'll leave the eyeball closed because we don't need to access it on our details panel. And right here, right when it's checking to see if it's open or not, if it's false, that's when we want it to play the open animation. So we're going to make enough room over here. And this is where we're going to plug in our stuff. So right here, this is when we are setting. And I'm going to check. So both of these are going to go through this check. Because if it's in process and it's false, which it will be false at the very beginning, it will be checked true, and then it'll play everything. And what I want to do is allow enough time for this animation to play. And it's probably like about 3 seconds, but if you want to be exact, you can hit the browse button. And if you just hover over this, it'll say sequence length, and it says 2 dot and all these zeros. So it's just 2 seconds. for the close. For the open one, it's 2 seconds. So now I know I need to at least have 2 seconds worth in the delay node. You can either right click and type in delay, which it's right here, or you can simply press D on the keyboard and click. It's literally press D or hold down D and right click on the computer. So I'm going to add this to both of my lines for open and close, and I'm going to put actually 2.5 seconds, just so that way it gives a little hub in between. And that's what I'm going to drag and drop our in process, set it to where it's false at the end. So that way it's showing like this is all the stuff that's in process. It went through, it took 2.5 seconds to get through everything, and now it's not in process anymore. And I'm going to do this exact same thing over on this line. I'm going to bring this over more. Trying to make it nice and neat. And we're going to put false, because if it's open, false, no. And if it's in process, no. And then play all the stuff. So now let's try it. So it's locked. Pick up my 2 keys. Door is unlocked, and now I'm going to spam. And you see now it won't glitch or like make it go sporadic to where the animation is just popping from the first frame. It'll actually give it that 2.5 seconds to open and close this. So yay. Okay, we can look at the function on our key and how we're setting the material. And I'm literally just gonna copy all this and then go over to our door button and make a new, because over here there's just a custom event changing color. So let me just drag the whole thing over. Actually, I'll just do it over here. So I'm going to make a custom event, change color, and then I'm going to paste this over where I'm going to drag my mesh, make it a new target, and my keys. And over here, I'm going to change it to the same material as the keys. And it's literally just because it's just a default material. So it's not like it's anything special. It's literally just changing the color. So I'm having it to where it changed the color. Yes, yes. And I am going to, oh wait, I need to make this into an actual variable. So just right click it, create variable color. It's down here and we want to make it visible. And then we also want to call it at the very beginning. So change color. Because right now it's not hooked up to anything, so it wouldn't know what to do with this. So this function is calling it. So we'll compile. And this is the one that I want to change to green. And these two are green. So I'm going to show you. Oops, why did that act all funky? then these I'm going to change to like a purplish pink. And this one into a purplish pink. And then we're going to do another one. And this one, I only want it to have one key. So, let's see. Okay, I was doing some quick testing, and the problem right now with the code is you would have to set up a different blueprint, which would literally just be going over here and just doing a Control D, and I would just put one key lock. And with that selected, I would literally right click this, replace with the one key lock. So now it's been updated, and I would double click on this to remove this pin. So that way, let's see. From here, let me just make sure I have it right. I would delete this. Yes. Get rid of that. So that way you still only have the one key. Because unfortunately, if anybody knows this, please let me know so that way I can update this. But currently, I don't know how to make this add pin button exposed to where I could easily just add more to my default page. So you would literally have to make a new blueprint that requires one key, requires two keys, requires three keys, etc. And just keep reusing this. So this one I'm going to keep where it's one key, just so that way you see like how it'll still function and everything. These I'll keep to where it's two keys, just so that way I could show you that it still works for these keys. There we go. That's what the problem was. You don't want to have an exposed pin because it's technically checking the conditions of this to make sure, like, okay, you have to have all of this for this key, and you have to have all of this for this key, and it was checking for something else on there, which it would always come back false. That's why it's good to like keep running the test. I was starting to worry for you guys. I was like, oh no, I left you guys into like this whole mess. I'm sorry. Okay, but that's what it was. So that's how you do it. You can literally label this whatever you want, like you could see. You would just, for a single key, just duplicate that blueprint, remove the AND Boolean, which is this. Just remove this and just connect that directly to it. Or have this AND Boolean and just keep, like, if you wanted this to be 3 keys, let me just move that over. So if you wanted this to be 3 keys, I am going to duplicate this, and I'm going to put 3 key lock. And that's where I'm going to add a pin, and I'm going to duplicate to add it on there. And again, if anybody knows how to expose this, please let me know, like for blueprints and stuff. That would really help me out for making better tutorials and stuff for this. So now with this highlighted, I'm going to right click, replace with selected, and replace with the 3 key. Oh, duh. Okay. So then you also have to remember, for the key ID requirement, you duplicate, and I would just name it as so. And if you want to organize this, because my OCD kicks in, I move it over there. And I'm also going to move this up here to set the color. Just like that. So then I compiled and saved. And you don't really need this. I only did this for debug purposes. But if you want to continue debugging, just drag this out, get it, copy the text, and just plug it in. So that way, if it fails, it'll tell you the key requirements for it. So then I'm going to select this door. I'm going to select the color to be that pink. And I'm going to require to have A, B, and C. C, B, and A. Oh, and it is locked. So 2 keys. Doesn't work on this one. A, B, C. And it works for that one. And because we did that process thing, it won't glitch out or anything, skipping to that first animation frame. And then 1. So there you have it. Multi-keys for multiple doors and stuff. And again, unfortunately, you have to duplicate the blueprint if you want only 1 single key, or if you want more than 2 keys, which I showed you the process on how to go about that. And you'll be able to have a system like this. I hope you enjoy. Please like and subscribe. And if you have any more questions or anything, just let me know. This was actually a lot of fun to get back into. I've been working a lot on BirdFlu, which is the horror platformer game that I've been very busy with. Check it out on Steam, and give it a like over there on my YouTube channel for BirdFlu as well. All right, have a good one, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.